Hi everybody, Bethany here, and today we are going to be talking about why balls bounce. So I have it's actually a beach ball here, but it looks like a soccer ball. And you can see that it is bouncing. So this has to do with energy, and we're gonna talk about that for a little bit. So here is the ball. The ball is in my hand. When the ball is in my hand, it has potential energy. So it hasn't started moving yet, but it could. So that's potential energy. And then as it starts moving, as it falls, so what force do you know that causes things to fall, to go down towards the center of the earth? Gravity. So the gravity, if I let go of the ball, the gravity is pulling it down towards the center of the earth. Now obviously it can't get all the way to the center of the earth because this table, and if not this table, then the ground is in the way. So the ball falls down like this. So that is called kinetic energy. And then it hits the table. And instead of the table absorbing the energy from the ball, it's actually going to reflect it back up into the ball. And that's what causes the bounce. So it goes down, the ground reflects the energy back into the ball, and it goes back up again. So I don't have a slow motion camera, but that is what's going on when a ball bounces. So if you want to see a slow motion of a ball bouncing, you can actually look that up on YouTube. There's a bunch of different videos. You can try a golf ball bouncing in slow motion, and some videos will come up and you can see that firsthand. It's super cool. So that is how balls bounce. It's potential energy when it's here, and then kinetic as it goes down, and then an energy transfer from the table or the floor into the ball. Now, what do you think would happen if I dropped this ball onto, say, a carpet or a pillow? What do you think? Would it bounce as high? Probably not, because that kind of flooring has more surface area, and instead of reflecting the energy, it would actually absorb the energy and help it land sooner. So that's why it works easier to bounce something on a hard surface than it does on grass or a carpet. So with that said, I actually have a project to do today where you can actually make your own bouncy ball at home. Now we aren't going to have any kits to do this, but it's pretty simple. So you should be able to do it at home with stuff in your own kitchen. So the first thing you're going to need is some pure cornstarch. So I have that, and then I have a bowl, and I have a quarter cup, and I have a fork and a popsicle stick for stirring, and we are going to make a bouncy ball. So here we go. Okay, so I have everything here that I need to make a bouncy ball, except for the microwave, which I couldn't really move onto the table, so you'll have to take my word for it that we microwave this. So first thing that we're gonna do, we need an 1/8 of a cup of water. So not a full quarter of a cup, but about half of a quarter of a cup, which is 1/8. So 1/8 cup of water into a microwave safe bowl. And then we're gonna do 2 tablespoons of cornstarch. Now I wanna make sure that I kind of get this level because we don't want too much or too little. It has a tendency to kind of cake a lot. Alright, so that's 2 tablespoons of cornstarch. I'm going to put that lid back on so I don't have anything spraying everywhere. And then we are going to mix. Now, ooh, it's already kind of sticky, but the idea is that we want to get it kind of spread out in the water. There we go. Now it's getting there. So it's going to look like really white. It almost looks like milk. Almost. Doesn't taste like milk though. And remember, you're not supposed to eat your science projects. There's a little extra cornstarch on the side here. I'll get that mixed in. All right. Once it's like thoroughly mixed in, you can take it to a microwave. Now, kids at home, please make sure that there's an adult watching you when you're working with the microwave, just in case something happens. And this needs to go in the microwave at least for 30 seconds, if not more. It really depends on the microwave. Sometimes it's done sooner than others. So I'm gonna take that to my microwave here and I will be back. All right, so I'm back from the microwave and I don't know if you can see it or not, but it's gonna have almost like a mashed potato type look to it. You want to let it cool as much as you can before disturbing it, and then once it's cool enough to handle, it's going to have this like rubbery feel to it. So you can see I can pick it up. It's kind of weird. But now I'm going to start scrunching it together. Scrunch, scrunch. Now one thing I can mention too, if you would like to have color in your ball and make sure that it's not just white, you can also add a couple drops of food coloring before you microwave it and make sure that it gets stirred in, and then it'll have a little bit of color to it. The first time I did it, I sort of forgot about the food coloring, and I tried to add it at this stage, and it was a really cool effect. It turned it into almost like a purple geode type thing, but it would probably spread more consistently if you did it before the microwaving process. So as you can see here, I am just about done molding it into a ball. And now, the hardest part about making this bouncy ball is putting it back into the bowl, and now we have to wait at least 24 hours before we play with it. yeah, it's not gonna be done for a while. So we're gonna let that one rest. I can show you the one that I made before. So this is my ball. Now when I first made it, it bounced really, really well. Like it bounced like a normal bouncy ball. Now it's a little bit more hard. And it sounds really hard, so it doesn't have quite as much give. So the reason it doesn't bounce as well now is that it's actually gotten very, very hard. So even though the table or the floor reflects some of the energy back into it, it can't absorb the energy like it used to. So when I drop it, it sort of bounces, but it's not quite as good as when I first made it. So when you make your bouncy balls, it'll work pretty well for the first couple of days, and then as it gets harder, it won't bounce quite as much. But the great thing about these is since it's just cornstarch and water, they don't hurt the environment like a rubber ball would. So there we go. I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope you try making your bouncy balls at home. Bye-bye. See you next time.